candidly speaking, there are very few examples of companies who've been able to do both extremely well. And I think two key challenges which come in that. One is, in some sense, you have to destroy your own business. There is a business which, depending on whether you're a 30, 40, 50, 100-year-old company, you've seen success happening, and things have changed. So if I take the format, let's say from a grocery perspective, you had a situation where you had small stores, then you had hyper, and then you had very large formats, but they happened over a 10, 15, 20-year period, slowly, slowly, slowly. So people were comfortable with the change which was happening. In the digital, it's actually a completely different setup, and therefore the ability of an existing organization to say, if I'm a Walmart or a Tesco, I'm actually going to forget that I have a $100 billion plus business and focus on something which is new, is just difficult. Now, that being said, if one was to look at the measure of success in terms of what is the share of the online business as one metric, or how integrated are the two, I think there are a few examples. So Burberry is referred to as the classical example, which has, in some sense, got a great digital presence, and which is not limited to only having a good website and a good app, but it actually integrates the entire offering from the pure online to the offering in the store, to actually using digital as a tool for helping the salesperson sell better. And I think, Shamik, the presentation that you'd made, I think that laid out some of those elements clearly, which is to, yes, there is no digital or offline or online consumer, but the interaction is very complex. Burberry is one example. In food and grocery, it's very difficult. I think fashion, there are some players who are starting to experiment. Warby Parker, which actually sells, of all things, spectacles, actually has got a store which is there in some in cities in the US. And interestingly, its sales per square foot is the second highest in the US. The highest is Apple. The second highest is Warby Parker. The third highest is Tiffany's, right? So there are some examples, but I think it's going to require a lot of change to actually make that happen. And few, if any, would be able to do that painlessly.